everybody, we're back. All right, let's go. Okay, so should have a little thingy-ding here. All right, that's not right. Okay, my window's not... Oh, here we go. Right, here we go. Not quite. There we go. Okay, let me turn... Alright, so I want the music on. Right, okay, so... It's going to be a little rough and ready, but we're going to go through it. So we started today... explaining our disguise, right? So the disguise... Full screen this. So this is the disguise, right? So the disguise was Ellen or Ellen or whatever Heartboon, right? And Elan Heartboon is basically a marriage counselor. Oh, that's what we said, right? So this is my disguise. His steps are light and gay, sometimes skipping from one foot to the next. Beneath his hood is a bright white smile, his speech kind and endearing. His lips are often pursed to a whistle. A light lilting melody emanates forth, encouraging joy, wonder, and love in the world. Pinned to his chest is a heart-shaped badge depicting an elfin cherub drawing a bow with heart-tipped arrow aimed at two elven lovers embraced in a passionate kiss, denoting him as a marriage counselor of my own. And the reason for this is because yesterday I discovered that our Mark who's sending me a friend's request? Oh, that looks like a bot. I discovered yesterday, during yesterday's stream, if I can get this up. Let me open this in the browser. Here we go. So yesterday I discovered, after walking up, right, so here's me dressed in disguise, walking up to Lord Zindaya on the left, Lady Zindia on the right, the head of the company. They're not real lords or ladies. They're not noble. They just pretend they are. He'd return the kiss. All right, I'll be quick, probably. He'd lock eyes with hers. He'd smile, right? And that was a whisper. So they have a secret relationship, right? And so the idea was to go to for this disguise to be a marriage counselor, right? So Lord Azure has made a deal with some like marriage counselor, you know, someone who deals with weddings, who's an elf, to deliver some wonderful like gifts, some nice things, and maybe get her excited that she's going to have a wedding, right? That he's going to propose to her. That was the plan. Didn't quite work out like that, unfortunately, but that was the plan. And then we spent, I'm not joking, about 3 hours. About 3 hours. Let's see if I can find it. So we got into a different disguise. This disguise is Nick Cutter, my newbie. So this is me dressed as a noob. There's Lord Azure. There he is. And there's Lady Zindaya. There she is, right? Yeah. So she's the Mark. She's the one that's going to pay my character the gold. She's the right-hand lady of Lord Azure, who runs the Even Scales company. He's the one that makes a lot of the big deals. He's the one that makes a lot of the power moves, as it was. He's the one that's bringing a lot of the money in. I think she's basically got a bunch of money, and he's spending her money to make money, essentially. Right? And so we spend a lot of time just standing around outside their store. If anybody remembers, about 6 hours ago, I basically had 2 items that I wanted to sell. I offered them to Lord Azure. He said, I don't want them, or I'm going to give you a little bit of money for them. And so I spent a whole bunch of time outside of their stall just trying to sell these 2 items, right? So I'm basically on the street, dressed as Nick Cutter, trying to sell 2 items in front of them, and while I'm doing that, I can listen in on their conversations, basically. So they're over here, everything that they say, everything that they do, everything that they mention, they might say, oh, we were robbed the other night, or something bad happened, or, you know, whatever. I get to stand around and listen to those conversations in this disguise, dressed as a noob, essentially. And it basically transpires, Lord Azure, as per usual, goes to bed, or goes and has his rest, around about 9 PM my time. He disappears. Let's see. So yeah, this is where they disappear to go and have a walk together. I think they go and have like a romantic walk in the woods together. Right, so we're kind of just stood around waiting for them. It's really not all that excited, this one. That's what I mean. Like, it's almost become pedestrian compared to the previous ones. I've already got, right, so Lord Azure right here is dressed in this black outfit. Right, he's got a fancy toy here, but he doesn't always have a fancy toy in his hand. Sometimes he has no toy in his hand, so it's perfectly fine to impersonate him without the halberd and the fancy effect on it. So I don't need a copy of this weapon in order to fully impersonate him. But he's wearing the same outfit that I used to rob him on Tuesday. So on Tuesday we made a copy of this outfit, and on Friday he's not changed, he's not realised he's been robbed, he's not realised he's been impersonated. We can use the exact same disguise the next time. Anyway, we realise, I think he's gone, right? So at some point we realise he's gone. So we go into the woods and we get ready for that, for the heist, as it were, right? So we're out, hanging around in the woods. I'm explaining to everyone here about the disguise. We reset, so this is an important step actually. So one of the things that you can do to uncover disguises, it's a metagaming thing, but you can metagame it and then invent an in-game reason for why you're not going to do something. And so it's this thing here, right? So your player name. So when somebody clicks on your portrait, it writes a little player name down in the dialogue box so that you can send them a tell. And if they're playing character A, it's the same player name. If it's character B, it's the same player name. Character C, same player name. Disguise A, disguise B, disguise C, all the same character name. And so we're about to go and do the robbery right now. We're building up to it now, and they may very well have been clicking on my character and having a look at my player name, and so we've got to change it basically. So that's what's going on here. We log out of the server, we change our player name to something new. I think we just call ourselves Ceiling Fan or something, like just something super generic, throwaway, random, a couple of random words shoved together, and then we're in disguise and we're going to go and rob them. So I know that Lord Azure is gone now. There was a moment that I'm not going to be able to find in the video, unfortunately, where Nick Cutter goes up to Lady Zendaya, asks where he is. My pizza just turned up, I think. Yeah. So I'm eating now, look. So I changed my disguise. I changed back into a simpler disguise, and we just go and hang out. So here we are, look, we're invisible, hanging out by the side of this building. Lady Zendaya is over here, and they're having a sit around the camp, talking about some weird dream that she's had, right? So they're like, she's role playing. Lady Zendaya's player is role playing about having these big spooky dreams about this ginormous dragon or whatever it is, while I eat my dinner. So it's kind of perfectly timed, really. So I'm eating my food, and she's role playing away, and there's a bit of a crowd here. So there's like 2 or 3 people here, and I'm kind of worried that if I try this robbery attempt now, that there's going to be too many eyes on the situation, that people are going to question the my illusion that I create, but it doesn't happen, right? Hello, I'm watching you, Lilith. I'm watching you. You guys can't see me eating, but yeah. Alright, so let's speed things up. So here we go, look, we're back into our pink disguise now. And this is where... I'm around the corner, I'm casting like... I cast a glamour on myself there that makes me better at lying in front of that other character. She's dressed like a noob in the newbie armor, so I really don't have anything to worry about. That's Sprock.exe who hangs around in chat playing Grog. And we're now walking up to Lady Zendaya and Co. in their little cove here in my marriage counselor disguise to go and introduce ourselves. So yeah, look, she's still telling her story here. Like, I finally feel like I can even make an attempt at fighting this thing, so I try to call all my summons as I usually do. So we just hang around at the front. I'm waiting for my opportunity to like introduce myself to her. I'm dressed in my pink get-up. I've got my marriage counselor's badge on in my description. My name's Ellen Heartboom. I'm a singer. Look, yeah, so I sing. He's letting out his melody, his sweet melody that encourages love and wonder in the world. And we walk around to go and have a chat with Lady Zendaya. Here she is, look. So I say, hello there. Hello there, kin. It is good to see... yeah, cancel that. Yeah, so here we go, look. So I say, he approaches, whistling a jaunty tune. Hello there, all. I was really, really unsettled at this point. Hello there, all. So we wait for a variety. It is kind of awkward. I'm definitely like, again, like in a very like shaky mood. I don't know what's going to happen here. This guy's a paladin. All of these people, I think, work for the same company, or they're all friends. They all hang around all the time. She says, greetings, friend. She smiled. That was, and lofted a hand. That's Zendaya. He looks to Levi, letting out a chuckle. Letting out a chuckling. Oopsie. This is a mighty fine grove you've got here. I must admit to a bit of jealousy. Quite the cozy hole. Hi, very well. I'm here to Lord Azure. I should have said I'm here to see Lord Azure. Oh, am I going to notice? I think I missed that, yeah. I'm here to Lord Azure about some private business. I'm justing for a bird. Oh my god. I had no idea I'd cocked up those words there. Wow. How embarrassing. It just shows you how nerve-wracking this stuff is. So I'm like, well, you won't find no bird here, bud, says Levi. So my thing is like I'm waiting for a message to go and meet him, basically. A bird's going to fly on my shoulder and whisper in my ear that it's time to go to your meeting. He chuckles. He seems... So Zendaya, of course, probably have to wait in line. She laughed lightly. Because he's awfully busy, Lord Azure. My character says he chuckles. He seems a man in high demand. A fine and endearing gentleman. She says, indeed so. So they know I'm here to see Lord Azure now, right? I've got a meeting with Lord Azure. She says, well, take care now. So I think she already, like, thinks I'm going to go. I was expecting her to, like, get up and say, oh, I'll go and get him for you or whatever. But I think she's just like, oh, Lord Azure handles it all already. Levi says, probably wish there was a pied piper of birds, but there isn't, so you're just going to have to bonk them with your good-looking stick you are. And I say, oh my, I would never. Birds are friends, not foes. He laughs slightly. So, she continues. So she's like really deep into like telling this story. Alright, and my character says, so a bird flutters down to his shoulder. Imagine this is like an illusion that my character's casting. A bird flutters down to his shoulder. He leans in his hooded ear towards. He leans his hooded ear towards. He says, "Ah, yes. I believe it's time for my meeting. Have a wonderful day." Or what did I say? Like fair winds. I don't know what the Elvish saying is. I really need to look it up. I just say Seldarine's blessings. Okay, so now I'm going in for my meeting with Lord Azure. He sleeps in this building here, which is the Even Scales meeting room is in here. She's just sat chatting away to the boys around the fire, the boys and girls around the fire. Bubble and squeak friend. Bloop, 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 bloop. So now we're in the commons room, and this is the first time this has happened. I almost make a mistake here. This is where I normally stand. This is where I've standed the last 2 times, and I realise there's a guy dressed in white, Leoric Whitewind over there, and I'm like, oh, okay. That's new. So I've got to change positions this time. Because he's going to spot me doing my illusionary summon, changing disguises and whatever else. So I go up to the next floor. Lord Azure's office is down there through that room. And I'm like, oh god, what do I do? Where do I stand? Where's a good place to do this? And I settle on this little, where this fireball here is over here. And this is where we get ready. This is where we summon our illusion that looks like Azure. This is pre-packaged from Tuesday. I did this exact same thing on Tuesday. I didn't have to set this up this time because I've already done it once before. So all I do is change my appearance into my Azure appearance, which copies his look. So this is what Azure looks like from before. His boots aren't right, actually. His boots should be black. So these boots aren't correct, but it worked last time. So now I changed my disguise, right? So Cyber Y'all, if you're still out there, look. My name has now changed to Azure, which is the name of the guy we're impersonating. And the trick is with Azure is he's always in disguise as Azure. So as a character, his character's name isn't Zerzan. His character's name isn't Azure. His real character's name is Zerzan. But he's always in disguise as Azure. So when I impersonate him, it puts the disguise quotations around my name, and it says Azure exactly as it would if Azure was there. And now I make a copy of myself. So I'm like umming and ahhing about it. I double check to make sure that we're ready, and there we go. There's my copy of myself dressed as Azure. So now it's a case of changing back into my original disguise, the one in pink, so that I can go out with Azure. I can go out onto the street with my illusionary copy of Azure as Elen Heartboon. So it looks as though we've gone in, had a meeting with him, and he's now going to walk out of the building with me. And I make sure that the description and everything's correct. I change my disguise, my name back to Ellen Heartboon, and I get ready. I preset my message here, so you'll see that when we walk out. So let's skip forward a little bit. So I put on this shield. The reason I put on this shield is because it's possible to hide the fact that this illusionary copy doesn't quite look like the real Azure. It's an elf with a hood instead of a human with a beard. So I can hide this model inside my shield when we're out on the streets. I rewrite the message, I think, and we also walk past that Leoric guy. Look, there he is. Look. So here's me walking past another player. with my illusion. Me and Azure are walking out the door, or what looks to be Azure walking out the door together, and I'm hiding him in my bubble, look. So people don't get too much of a good look at him. And here we go. Now we're out on the street. I stand here. Look, I position Azure there in the eye line of Ladies India, so they have eyesight of each other, and we let this first message rip, right? So this is the first message. My Ladies India, could you be so kind as to fetch Master Ilan? 320 bags is what I asked for the first time. His eyes are wide and smile filled with glee. He has delivered something very special and dear. I hope you'll like it. Was the initial plan. The problem is she doesn't actually hear it, right? So she's continuing her chat, and I'm like really nervous. I'm like writing the next message. I'm not keeping an eye on what's going on chat. And she says she looked around to see if anybody wanted to give a response. So I'm like, oh, is she waiting for them to talk to Azure? Is she waiting for them to get up? Are they just going to ignore me and tell me to go away? And then I say, would you be so kind as to join me in my quarters afterwards? I have something special to announce. But the problem is she didn't hear me the first time, so I have to cancel that and write the next message. So that gets cancelled. So it says, ahem, Ladies India, can you please come and see me? See? So now I get her attention. She says, into ... Wilfred says, I need to stretch. Zindia says she grinned and paused. Till next time, right? So she's coming along to come and see Lord Azure, my illusion. Right? This is an illusion. I have control. She thinks this is Lord Azure. Greetings, she said. So she's actually got her eyes on me. She's seen Lord Azure before. She's like... So now my lady, this is Master Ilen. He has brought something very special and dear to me. A gift. Would you please go and get him 250 bags? Bags? Question mark. The woman mustered all she could to force a smile, pale and weak, looking as she pulled back her hood. So there we go, I let rip. So this is the final. So I've gone down from 320 to 250. My character then says, it is so fine. I should have said nice to finally meet you, Ladies India. Lord Azure has had nothing but lovely things to say about you. Levi says, feel better soon, bud. She says, thanks, pal. And now she's running off to go and get my gold, basically. So the problem is there's been people hanging around the back of the house, and Lord Azure, I don't want them to come back and see me unsummon Lord Azure. Lord Azure can't come walking with me down the street. He's got to go back to bed where he's resting. So I get Lord Azure to ask me to join him indoors. Right, so I go inside with the conjuration, and we unsummon it, basically. Don't worry about Priscilla, she's an NPC, so Lord Azure disappears inside the house where nobody can see. I walk out onto the street. Lord Azure's, the illusion's nowhere to be seen, so it can't be inspected or investigated or questioned. Cast a little spell on myself, so it looks like I've still got my bubble. For some reason it's disappeared, and here she comes. I say, how are you feeling, Ladies India? Lord Azure tells me you've been feeling under the weather. He says, here you are, sir. 250,000 gold, right there, that's 250 bags. She trades it to me willingly. We have a little conversation. She says something like, oh, I'm fine, whatever. Aye, good stuff. No, that's somebody else. Yeah, that's what somebody else said. I am, yes. Thank you for asking. She says, I am feeling under the weather. I am, yes. Thank you for asking. So I literally, Brogdar says, boss lady, we go hit stuff. Be back soon. No idea what's just gone on, that their company. These guys are the guards, by the way. Like, this guy is a guard, Brogdar. He's the guard. He's just stood next to me after I've just robbed 250,000 from him. Very well, I believe Lord Azure has returned to his slumber. I bid thee farewell, I say. She says thanks again to Zogdar. She says see you to Master Tolin, that's this guy over here. Killshooter says the hustle is real. The hustle is real, baby, eh? What do you reckon of that, eh? I give her a little nod. This is the longest I've ever hung around afterwards. And it's the most I've interacted with her as well, with the thing. See you later. A pleasure to meet you, sir. She bowed politely to him. And likewise. And as I said, Lord Azure speaks very highly of you. Very highly of his lady Zindia. She coughed lightly into the crease of her elbow. She's not been feeling very well. She's been role-playing being ill. And there we go. We walk out with 250 bags of gold stolen from the Even Scales Company. That's robbery number 3. 62 bags the first time, 125 bags the second time, 250 bags the third time. Oh man. Right, that's it. We run off and we go and we cast invisibility, we teleport out. We change our disguise back to cover our feet. This disguise will never appear again, basically. This character will probably never appear again, although based on how well that went, I really honestly don't think they're going to be any the wiser. The question is it's clear, it seems clear to me that she doesn't question anything that Lord Azure does. Like, what was the thing that you bought last night with all that money? She has no idea. She's just, I go fetch the money, basically. You know, Lord Azure says, get me some money, I go and get the money for him and he handles the business. That's it. That's really what's going on here. And so when Lord Azure walks out and says, get some money for this man, she goes and gets it. Or this woman, or this person, or this elf, this marriage counselor or whatever. The plan was to, like, make out that Lord Azure was going to propose to her, but, like, I was a floppy mess. It was really hard to stay concentrated. I was making typos and stuff. Like, it's like a real adrenaline rush. Anyway, guys, I hope you really enjoyed that. That's another really long-winded highlight video. Guys, if you haven't already, consider hitting that follow button. It really helps out the channel. I appreciate it. Consider joining the Discord, where we talk more about these heists and some of the things that happen in preparation for them in our Neverwinter Nights channel. And there's a bunch of other game channel there if you're interested. If you want to continue the chat and whatnot about Neverwinter, then you're more than welcome to join us. But in the meantime, we've got to go and raid somebody. So, raiders at the ready. Let's go. So, let's go back to Twitch and find us a raid target. Okay, Lilith is playing the worst Hawking recruit in all of Arelith history. Looks like she's having a lot of fun. She's got a new helmet on, which is cool. Let's go hang out with Lilith, guys. Alright. No, it's okay. I want to come hang out with you. Hey, Tug, how's it going, dude? You've just missed the highlight, bro. We robbed the Even Scales Company for 250 bags this time. We're going to go hang out in Lilith's chat, so if you want to talk about it, you're more than welcome to come and join. I'll be in Discord too. Yeah, 390 bags now, buddy. 390 bags stolen from the Even Scales Company. Hey, we're not doing any more. We're going to go back to Devil Cult stuff next week. Maybe the week after that we'll start robbing them again. We'll see how it goes. Alright guys, I'll see you over in Lilith's chat. Let's go. Bye-bye.